Scorpio, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it, Scorpio. Happy holiday season. I hope things are going well, despite some of the tension, some of the chaos that we are finding in the astrology right now. We're just coming from a new moon in Capricorn, and what I like about Capricorn energy is it gives us the strength, the stability to endure the hardship, essentially. There's not a lot of activity, options, movement. We're kind of operating under some limitation right now. We have a couple planets in retrograde, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, which slows things down, and it's forcing us to confront and contend with what is in front of us. Those situations, people that we're already dealing with that need some closure around these energies. And like I said, it's not the easiest, because our ego, our emotions are being triggered out of all this, and in a way to bring that healing about. So that's why I like to start with these energy cleansings, just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. It's a good time to just kind of cleanse out any of those limitations that we are coming into. This is also a really good time to set your own intention as well for the reading. If you would like to have certain questions answered or messages received from Spirit, definitely give those over. Be open to receive, Scorpio. I also do collective or individual readings. I do collective readings too, obviously, but I do individual readings. If you are interested, I offer a bunch of different healing services. Readings are one of them if you want me to look at specifically what's going on for you. I also do energy healing and Ayurvedic consultations, helping to realign ourselves with our mind, body, soul, which is really important, especially during times like these where we are experiencing lack, limitation, etc. That's when we have to really kind of hunker down and listen to our intuition, listen to our gut instincts, and take action accordingly. All right, Scorpio, with that, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm, cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Mama Love. We all need some extra love right now. That's for certain. There is a lot popping off, like I said. And, there is support. I don't want to just keep running this mantra like everything's so hard and difficult. Yeah, there are challenges on the surface level. And this is a lot about, like I said, just not reacting. Mars in opposition, tensely aspected to Pluto. It brings a lot of desire, but it also brings a lot of limitation, like I was saying. So shadow work, shame, and worry popped out 100%. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And ironically or not, the trauma card has been popping up for pretty much all the signs in the readings thus far. And it really, what we're experiencing right now is the unearthing of that trauma, of that sadness, of that worry, that pain, that fear, the things that really do keep us limited. Okay, you saw me shuffle. Shadow work pops out. And it's, you in and of itself as a sign, probably deal with shadow work in the best way. You're not afraid. You're not afraid to kind of go down to those darker places that maybe people don't really understand. You're in this space right now, Scorpio, where you're forced to, is what I'm hearing. You've had too much on your plate. You've had too much going on. You're exhausted. And it is bringing out aspects of your shadow. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. I mean, I'm all about trying to the best of your ability, keeping balanced, middle of the road. There is a lot of tense energy in your overarching energy. Like, there's just a lot of tension is what I'm seeing around you this week. And again, this has been pretty typical with how all the readings are playing out. Like I was saying, some of that old trauma coming up. We just entered a new year, obviously, and we're still releasing. We're still releasing some of this old stuff, tying up loose ends, closing out certain chapters. And I feel like as much as you've been working to push forward, at this point, it feels exhausting. I feel like you've kind of been caught in something for a long time. This is not just like some thing that just happened and it's, this feels like this has been going on for a long time. Like, you've had to keep so many things up and running, and you've done it. You've done it, right? All the while facing your shadow, all the while facing the harder aspects of yourself that we all have to contend with. We all have that shadow work to do. And I feel like it's been really heavy. It's been really overwhelming. Yeah. Knave of Cups, 10 of Wands. It's like, to some capacity, you're committed, but I feel like at this point, you're over it. A lot of what you've been grinning and bearing through over the last little bit, it's starting to not feel so happy. It's starting to be like, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to waste my time doing this. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm over it. And also pissed off or becoming pissed off at people around you. People that have not really helped, have not been supportive, or if they have, it's been in a very superficial, very topical way. And to be fair, some of this is about their own healing. Some of this is about their own evolution, but you feel like it's not fair. You feel like it's not fair. You feel like you're being taken advantage of, or that something is not helping you out, but they don't feel like you need the help. They're looking at you like you got it all together, and they don't want to contribute. That's what I'm hearing. This is definitely a dynamic where, I don't know, you're the one giving and they're not giving back. They're not, I see them being in like their bubble, this is like kind of a selfish bubble where they're like, well, it's a lot of excuses. Well, I'm exhausted, or I'm trying to get better, or whatever this is. And not necessarily that this person is bad or against you, person, situation. This is someone who does care about you deeply, is not necessarily on the same level or in the same place as you, because they're they're going through some major change. This is all major arcana in their overarching energy. So they have the Star, the Empress, and the Lovers. And I feel like they're going through this really big healing, this really big cycle change, where they are starting to wake up to some of the realities that are in this situation. But you're already at a point where you're exhausted. Maybe this is something you've been trying to get someone to see for quite some time, and they've refused. And then now all of a sudden, it looks like they're starting to see, and you're like, what the, what the F? Like, why is this taking so long? Why is this where you're at now? And you couldn't give me that before. I feel like there's a lot of, well, what we're seeing, right? Bottled up anger, frustration, resentments, places where people, situations haven't supported you, haven't given you the same in return that you have given to them. This person is trying to stick it out. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. They want you to hang around for them. They want you to hang around. They want you to see them, to acknowledge them, to acknowledge the relationship, acknowledge the dynamics. Giving them a hall pass. But I don't know if you really want to. I don't know if you really want to. Because again, it looks like you are holding on to some resentments. Yeah. For you, you would be, like, in your mind, it's like you would be repeating the same mistake over again. And while I see this person, like, maybe finally healing, like maybe they finally have their stuff together or they're getting it together, it feels a little bit like too little too late. Because you're not into this. You're not into what they're trying to sell you or what they're trying to say. Even if they're giving you compliments, it still feels like you're not getting the full value, right? Like you're not getting an authentic apology, or you're not getting something that you really need to kind of help balance you out. And the way that things are talked about, the way that things are expressed also feels very unpalatable. And you're looking at it through the eyes of, well, you took this for granted the whole time, right? Like you didn't make decisions. Like you sat around, you waited, you didn't want to talk it out, you didn't want to, whatever. And you feel like a little betrayed is what I'm hearing, Scorpio. Like you feel like you didn't get a fair shake from this person. And time has moved enough where things are sorting themselves out. Maybe you're not getting as much of a backlash from this person, from this situation. But now you're kind of in this place where it's like, you're not ready for a fresh start. You are still carrying all this baggage, all this hubbub from before, from what used to be. I am fully unique. Distractions lead me to create a false self. Only through acceptance of myself can I deliver my full potential in life. Every human being is unique. So I feel like this is like places where you've given someone too much of yourself, and it's taken them a long time to heal, to catch up with you, to kind of meet you at where you're at. And I don't even see them fully doing that right now. I feel like they're en route to do that. They will be in that space in the future, but you're constantly trying to be okay with them and where they're at. And there's something around this where you're holding on to a lot of frustration. Like you're trying to be okay. You're seeing them move through this, but at the same time, it feels like a distraction, a false sense of self that you allowed into your life, putting you in this place that you wouldn't normally have given had you maybe known, right? Known from the get-go type vibe. But recognizing it's okay to release. I was born to reveal myself. My desires, cravings, emotions, happiness are a part of my revealing process. I let everything be and I allow myself to unfold. Okay, I like that confirmation to what I was just saying. It's like we go through these experiences with people and situations, not to hold on to resentment, but to become more in alignment with who we are and with what we want. And even though sometimes it's really hard to do this quote unquote shadow work, look at the places that we allow people, situations in that, again, don't value, don't take, you aren't, don't take responsibility, don't take, actually claim what they want, and instead let fall by the wayside. Those situations are really hard to work through, but it looks like this is part of that process, right? Part of that process to uncover who you are, what you want, what you need. When I want to change life around me, I just focus on changing myself. Such a beautiful way to close out this reading, Scorpio. I can't change anything in a positive way if I'm not aligned and balanced within myself. When I produce a conscious change inside of me, it affects everything around me. That's so powerful. It's so true. Like, when we want change, when we're seeking different avenues, then we really have to change our approach, how we're seeing things, how we're seeing situations around us. And that is the name of the game right now, specifically Uranus in retrograde in Taurus. It's forcing us to contend with what is right in front of us. And not easy, right? But this is that value of not pointing the finger, projecting, etc. It's time to take responsibility for ourselves and stop taking responsibility. Sorry, Scorpio, I got cut off just as I was finishing your reading. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you found messages that resonated here for you. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or I love to just connect, share, and a little love, little TLC. I super appreciate all you bring to the channel, all the love and support. Know it blesses my heart. I'm sending that love and blessings back your way.